don't know. It's giving me a little bit of like Take a Hint Danny, but I'm like, oh, stuck in an elevator. Viral on social media. I don't know. We'll see. I actually didn't come in here with a plan of like what kind of books I wanted to buy. Just here for the vibe. This is my favorite Kindred book. We're just gonna have to see me distressed and disheveled today. I know I usually am much more put together. I found the neighbor favor. This was one of the things that I wanted to get the most. Because I'm going to a author event with Kristina Forrest. I pre-ordered the Partner Plot, which is her new book, which is why she's going on tour. But I wanted to get the neighbor favor signed as well. So I'm gonna have both books and I'm very excited. Big day for practice. You know I love it. They have like a practice room section here. And I found a Kimberly Lemming book, so I'll talk more about it later, but like I want to read some like monster romances. And so I did a little deep dive and she was on my authors to read, so it's very exciting. I just feel like there's not a lot of like, I'm not discovering new books, which is why I like to go to the bookstore. I'm not discovering like new authors or anything, so like that's kind of frustrating to me here, but I do enjoy like the aesthetic and the experience of the bookstore so far, so like that's cool. I'm at the Strand now. It's super busy. I was, don't know what I was expecting. It's super big and I'm super overwhelmed. Do you want to know what's actually funny? I changed my train to go home early and I wasn't going to come to visit Barnes & Noble because I don't really like Barnes & Noble, but I'm walking to Penn Station and I passed it, so I'm just kidding. Ooh, and they have it in the paperback. Y'all know I love this. You know I love that book. Hi besties. So I was in New York for Valentine's Day, and I went to a couple bookstores. So I want to talk about the books that I got. So I wanted to go to New York to go to the Ripped Bodice, which is the romance bookstore, and I knew I was gonna buy books. I wanted to go to the Ripped Bodice because it's the romance bookstore in Brooklyn, and then I wanted to go to the Strand because there's someone I follow on YouTube. They went to the Strand and they said it looked really fun and cool and like big, so I wanted to go there since I was already gonna be in New York. And then I wasn't gonna go to the biggest Barnes & Noble that's in New York, but I ended up passing it on my way back to the train station, so I popped in for a little bit. I always have such a interesting experience at a Barnes & Noble, so I don't tend to go there. But I did go because I was like, you know what? I had some time to kill before my train. And so I went in, had an interesting experience. But yeah, I got books at all the places. So I wanted to talk about them. 5 books from the Ripped Bodice, which the Ripped Bodice is a romance bookstore. So they started in LA. So there's one in LA. And then they just opened the Brooklyn one in I want to say very recently, like 2021, 2022. Oh, 2023. Okay, so yeah, very recently, like last year. So it opened August in 2023. So it's very exciting that there's one so close to me now, because like I don't live on the West Coast. So it was really cool to go there. It was a super cute environment. Like I really liked, like, there was pink everywhere, there was flowers everywhere, and there was a lady who was doing doing flower arrangements there, like selling them, I guess like as a pop-up there. So that was really cool. And then I saw her like put the flowers together, and she also did some like took some pictures of them too. So if you follow the Ripped Bodice on Instagram, you might see the pictures. I don't know. I have a stack of books here. So all in all, I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I got 10 books. One was for my best friend. It was a cookbook. It was Tia Mari's cookbook. She wants to get into cooking and then having recipes, so I got that for her. It's not in the stack, obviously, because I gave it to her. But the first book, one of the first books I want to talk about is The Neighbor Favor, which I was really excited to get. So if you follow me on other socials and like my podcast, The Bookish Vibe, you know that me and my best friend are going to go to this author event. So Kristina Forrest is promoting her second book, The Partner Plot. This is the first book, The Neighbor Favor, and so I wanted to get both. I pre-ordered the Partner Plot to pick up at the event, but I wanted to get this too, specifically at the Ripped Bodice, mostly because I don't buy books a lot, and so I didn't want to have 2 different book buying trips. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to get this signed and the Partner Plot signed. I'm very excited. And I think it's going to be like a 3-book series because it's 3 sisters. Next book I got is Outdrawn by Deanna Gray. I love this book. I read it like the first or second month it was out. So this is a sapphic rivals to lovers romance. Sage is like, they're all black. Noah, she's like what, pink and pastel, and so they've known each other since school, and they've been like actual career rivals. They both draw comics, and so I'm not a big rivals to lovers thing, because it just doesn't make sense to me, especially like enemies to lovers, rivals to lovers. I'm sure I've talked about this a lot. I've talked about it a lot. I'm not a big rivals to lovers fan, but I think this one is really well done, and I think it makes sense actually that like academically, like they were friends in college for a little bit, then they became rivals for the most part. A lot of it was like a little bit of a miscommunication, but ultimately, like, yeah, they've been challenging each other in their careers like this whole time, and then they finally work together, and sparks start to fly. So it was super cute. I really liked it. I think this talks a lot about like work-life balance too, which I think is helpful. So I really liked this. I think it was really well done. Next 3 books that I got from the bookstore are books that I haven't read yet. So I didn't want to just buy all the books that I had read. I wanted to, you know, get some books that I'm excited to read. So this book is called The Friendship Contract by Mia Heintzelman. I think I'm saying that right. I hope. But it's basically kind of like a friends to lovers. So who is it? Allegra and Damon. So like it seems like Damon's been in love with Allegra like this whole time. They've been best friends for 10 plus years. And then something happens, and then like I think Allegra's long-term boyfriend, it blows up, and then ultimately they end up kind of getting together. But like obviously Damon's in love with Allegra, but Allegra doesn't want like anything complicated. Also there's a 10+ year friendship like hanging in the balance. So to kind of keep things uncomplicated, what do? Create a contract for hooking up, which, you know, seemingly doesn't seem that uncomplicated to me, but whatever. But so, and then it seems like they end up being roommates. So I feel like there might be a lot happening in here, but I do kind of like, I don't love a friendship to lovers, but I do like, I don't know, I do like the idea of like a contract. So like a contract, or like whenever something's like kind of like casual, no strings. It ends up not being casual, and there ends up being a lot of strings. So I'm looking forward to reading this, and it seems pretty short, so it might be a quick read. Yeah, it's under 300 pages, so I'm thinking this will be a really quick read. But also look at the cover. And I specifically picked this because I wanted a black romance. I've been reading a lot of interracial romance by black women, and I specifically wanted a black romance, so that's why I picked this up. And then I picked up this YA book called Her Good Side by Rebekah Weatherspoon. I'd seen the cover before, and then I read it, and it seems super cute. So Bethany hasn't really kissed anybody. She's like a late bloomer. Jacob's been dumped, like, well, and I think Jacob is like her best friend's boyfriend, but her best friend breaks up with him, and then they start to kind of fake date so that they can both get practice, because this was like the second time Jacob's been dumped in like a few months, and that's a big deal for kids. Yeah, dumped twice in just 2 months. Jacob Yoon wonders if he's the problem. Yeah, and so, you know, it's YA, so like this seems like a very intense, like that. This seems like a good idea for them to like fake date so they can get practice. But then what happens when the fake dating doesn't seem fake anymore? I don't know. Y'all know that I love a fake dating romance. It's one of my favorite romance tropes. So I'm really excited to read this. I love YA stuff. Like, I've been reading a lot. Well, I haven't been reading a lot of YA romance, but I do read a lot of YA romance in general. So I'm really excited to read this monster romance. I've been really wanting to read some monster romances. I actually bought one of like one of the ones that I'd seen on TikTok, because it was at like the clearance section at some store I was at, but it wasn't by a black woman, and I really wanted to start with a black woman author of monster romance, because as you know, I read books by black women. So at the Ripped Bodice they had this one by Kimberly Lemming, which is the second in the whatever series this is, the Mead Mishap series. So that time I got drunk and yeeted a love potion at a werewolf. I'm really excited about it, but they didn't have the first one, so I got that at a different bookstore. But maker, and she was trying to throw a drink at somebody's head, missed them, and threw it at this werewolf, but the drink happened to be a love potion. So now she's gotta kind of work at, like, let this werewolf know that, like, hey, like, you're not actually in love with me. I accidentally threw a love potion at you. But I feel like looks like they're gonna fall in love. I don't know. Really excited about it. But I don't like to start books in the middle of a series. I don't know that they're like you have to read them in order, but I don't like to, just in case. So when I went to the Strand, which is a very cool bookstore, I got the first one, which is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So these are the first two in the Mead Mishap series. And so this one, it says all she wanted to do is live her life in peace, maybe get a cat. But they say the goddess has favorites, and if so, sin is clearly not one of them. After sin, in a wine-drunk stupor, saves the demon Fallon, he reveals that all he really wants to do is kill an evil witch, enslaving his people. And who can blame him? But now he's dragging Cinnamon along for the ride, whether she likes it or not. On the bright side, at least he keeps burning off his shirt. I'm very excited to read these. But I got this graphic novel adaptation of Octavia Butler's Kindred. So Kindred is a book, if I'm remembering correctly, it's the book that where it's like a woman keeps getting, I got the book from the library, hold on. Ugh. So this is a library book, Kindred. So Deanna, a modern black woman, is celebrating her 26th birthday with her new husband when she is snatched abruptly from her home in California and transported to the antebellum South. The white son of a plantation owner is drowning and Deanna has been summoned to save him. Okay, yeah, so she keeps getting John back to like antebellum South, like to live as a slave. So I think it's like a dual timeline of like contemporary and then like history, like as she's living in the South, like during slavery. I like Octavia Butler. I'm not gonna read that really fast though. I know we just we talked about Octavia Butler before. It's not a book you want to read very fast, like in general. So I got the library book, so I'm probably gonna read that, and then also maybe at the same time read this graphic novel, because I don't know, I really like the cover, and I do want to get into graphic novels. I think that is, I just want to try different like formats of books, so I'm really excited about that. And I really like this cover. It's a heavy book. It's the color purple. Now, I'll be honest, I've never read this book. I don't know that I will, but I think it's an important book to own, and I really like this cover. I like the movie. The movie is a good movie. I think it might just be like too, like, it's a sad movie. I think it'll be even more like vivid in my head if I read it as a book, but I've been really into sad, beautiful books lately, so I might read this year. But I really like the cover, and I think it's important to own books. I think it's important to own books like this. Angela Y. Davis, Freedom is a Constant Struggle, Ferguson, Palestine, and the Foundations of a Movement. So I tried to read this in audiobook format, and it was like a little bit hard to follow, I think, with the speed that I like to read my audiobooks. And then like this, along with what 100 Years War in Palestine, I feel like is something that like I need to own so that I can like write and read it. It gives like kind of intense historical text, and then also like theory, like political theory or like radical theory. So I think it's going to be important that like I can take notes in the book if I want to. So I bought it because it was there, and it's been on my TBR for a couple months now, so I'm very excited to read that. At the Strand. The Strand is actually like a lovely store. It's so big. By the time I went there, I was already overwhelmed though, because I spent like 2 hours at the Ripped Bodice. And then New York is just overwhelming for me. I'm not used to being there right now yet. I've only been by myself. I've only visited really in my adult life twice, and they've been in the last like 3 months, so I'm still getting used to it. But I got this tote bag. They have a lot of tote bags there, and I really wanted a tote bag because there was the girl whose YouTube I saw that she went to the Strand. She got some tote bags, and she said they're very known for their tote bags, and I was like, I could use another tote bag. So I got this. It says Sounds of the Strand. So the Strand is the bookstore, and it's a record. It's like a little record player with a record. I'm really into records and I have a record player now. So I thought this is a cute little like combination of things that I liked, books and records. So I'm really excited to use this. I have this tote, and then I got a tote from the author event I went to with Jazz Hammonds. They wrote We Deserve Monuments, and so I got a really cute tote bag there too. So those two might be my like summer book stuff totes. I'm very excited. I hope I get a tote bag from the author event with Kristina Forrest. Love a good tote bag. But yeah, those are all the books that I got from New York. Yes, I'm very excited. I had such a good time in New York. I want to visit New York and do more book things there, but I want to do that in the summer. I'm tired of going up there when it's cold. Okay, bye besties. Make sure you like this video, comment, and subscribe.